Lausanne was built on three hills, Cité, Bourg, and Saint-Laurent, and crisscrossed by two rivers, the Louvre and the Flon, which dug deep valleys in the soft grey morass beneath the city. It was on these hills and on Lausanne is a cosmopolitan city in the heart of Europe. Its unique beauty is due in part to its unusual geography. It straddles valleys and is crossed by rivers, sculpted by hills and Lausanne's stature and renown are the result of more than 2,000 years of economic, cultural and political interaction with the outside world. In Roman times, Lozanna sat within the empire's huge economic market. Goods were transported mostly by river and the lake, but also on land routes, such as the road built by the Emperor Claudius leading into Italy over the Great St. Bernard Pass. In the 3rd century, Lausanne moved from Vidi on the lake shore to a hill, now known as the Cité, 4 kilometers to the north. The inhabitants felt that the new site, 170 meters higher in altitude, would be easier to defend given the decline of the Pax Romana, the threat of invasion and the drop-off in trade volumes. At the end of the 6th century, Bishop Marius of Avanges, St. Marius, chose Lausanne as the new site for his episcopal see, a change that sparked the city's economic and cultural development. The city gradually became an important crossroads. There were many busy international regions down to the lakeside and up to the centre of town. A second funicular began operating in 1899 between Le Vallon, near the old town, and Le Signal above town, 637 metres above sea level. In 1890, the Boulevard de Drancy was developed. Ouchy piers were added in 1901. The construction of the M1 metro in 1991 extended the city's horizontal axis westward towards the university and the Federal Institute of Technology, thereby expanding the Greater Lausanne area. In 2006, the M2 metro consolidated the vertical axis between Ouchy and Les Croisettes on the northern edge of the city. Work on the M3 metro line, which will run northwest from the city centre to the Bleschret Airport, began in 2018.
bloga. Kilka zdjęć rozrzucasz, piszesz komentarze.
In the Middle Ages, Lausanne was visited by large numbers of Catholic pilgrims. They came to pray to the statue of the Virgin Mary, a popular pilgrimage destination in the 13th century, or simply stopped by on their way to Rome or Santiago de Compostela in Spain. This drove the city's economic growth in medieval times and led to the construction of an impressive network of fortifications that remained in place until the 19th century. A defensive structure was first built on the Cité Hill during the Merovingian period, from the 6th to the 8th century, before being expanded outward between the 13th and 16th centuries as the city grew in size. The main gates and towers in the city walls were Saint-François, Saint-Étienne, Marteret, Anne, Saint-Nair, Étras, Saint-Laurent, and Saint-Pierre. The Dominicans reached the city in 1234 and built a monastery at La Madeleine, and the Franciscans arrived in 1258 and built Saint-François Church. In 1275, the consecration of the Lausanne Cathedral in the presence of Pope Gregory X and Emperor Rudolf of Habsburg capped this phase of the ascendance of what was at the time the largest city in western Switzerland. The upper part of the city was the seat of religious power represented by the bishop, to whom Lausanne was subject. The bishop's first residence was beside the cathedral, in the building that now houses the city's historical museum. Seeing his power increasingly contested, the bishop had the Château Saint-Nair, an imposing structure, built in the 15th century. He was opposed by the townspeople, who lived in the city's 5 neighborhoods: the Cité, neighbourhood occupied the upper part of the city, while the lower city was composed of the merchant and craftsman neighbourhoods of Saint-Laurent, Bourg, Pont, and Palus. Place de la Palus, where the city's main market had been located since the Middle Ages, was the city's real hub and the seat of civil authority, which responded to the bishop's power by building the town hall in the middle of the 15th century. Since the Middle Ages, the Flon River and Louvre River carried away the city's waste and sewage. These rivers were an ongoing source of stench and presented numerous public health risks, including cholera, typhus, and malaria. A cholera epidemic in 1832 led to the Flon River finally being covered. There were other dangers as well. On the 4th of September 1831, high waters led to extensive flooding that killed around 10 people and caused widespread damage. In addition to making the city safer for its residents, covering the Louvre and Flon rivers created much needed ground space for construction and transport purposes in a fast-growing city. The Pichard Bridge, 1844, the Chaudron Bridge, 1905, the Bessières Bridge, 1911, the Bar Tunnel, 1850, and the Flon footbridges, 1960-2000, were all built for the same purposes: to facilitate the movement of vehicles and goods, make the main neighbourhoods more accessible, and improve transit via major arteries that crossed or skirted the city. In 1856, the first railroad tracks reached Lausanne from the west. Train station, which was built halfway up the hill between the lake and the upper part of the city, led to the development of a vertical transport link connecting these 3 points. In 1877, the Lausanne-Ouchy funicular was inaugurated. It was designed to